chapter 2. And now this commandment is for you, O you priests, if you will not hearken, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, then will I send the curse upon you, and will curse your blessings. Yes, I curse them, because you do not lay it to heart. Behold, I will rebuke the seed for your hurt, and will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your sacrifices, and you shall be taken away unto it. Know then that I have set this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him, and of fear. And he feared me, and was afraid of my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and unrighteousness was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and uprightness, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But you are turned aside out of the way. You have caused many to stumble in the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as you have not kept my ways, but have had respect of persons in the law. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother, profaning the covenant of our fathers? Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord which he loves, and hath married the daughter of a strange god. May the Lord cut off to the man that doth this, him that calleth, and him that answereth out of the tents of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts. And this further you do, you cover the altar of the Lord with tears and weeping, and with sighing, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering any more, neither receive it with good will at your hand. Yet you say, Wherefore? Because the Lord hath been a witness between you and the wife of your youth, against whom you have dealt treacherously, though she is your companion and the wife of your covenant. And not one hath done so who had exuberance of spirit. For what seeketh the one? A seed given of God? Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For I hate putting away, saith the Lord, the God of Israel, and him that covereth his garment with violence, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that you deal not treacherously. You have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet you say, Wherein have we wearied him? In that you say, Every one that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delighteth in them. Or where is the God of justice? All right, let's go back up. Verse 1. Now we started this book of Malachi yesterday. And Malachi is the messenger. And we're going to see that Malachi's message is directly to the priests who were in the temple, and God was explaining to them how God is separated. God has done this. God separated Esau and Jacob in the beginning. See, God was making examples, and God even made an example. He separated the priest even in the beginning. See, we had the two sets of Levi, these ones who tended the house and all the manners of it, and then we have the sons of Zadok, the Levites who took care of the inner sanctuary. See, God separated even then the Levites, and that's who Malachi's addressing. He's addressing those ones, as we will remember, see, that had went astray, that was out, and they was prophesying peace, and there was no peace in the land. The kingdom was falling apart all around them. The king of Babylon had come in. He had taken over. He had carried the king off and set a king in Jerusalem of his own, and he had rebelled. This would be Zedekiah, and they was doing everything they could to just save the what they could. And these are the ones that Malachi is really addressing, these Levites who was prophesying lies and teaching teaching lies, these priests, he refers to them as these priests, because these were the ones who went out to the people and did make intercession with the people. These are, and we'll find out, they was even polluted in the days of Jeroboam. See, in the days of Jeroboam, when he made priests and as many as they could, this had become a polluted thing even. And we're going to pick it up now in verse 1. And now this commandment is for you, O you priests. Now this commandment, see, this commandment here, this word is mitzvah. And this word, it means commandment, it means a rule. And this rule even like an example, see, because if you don't do it, we'll know it'll be made known, see. This is a rule that you have to follow in order to keep from being made known. 2. If you will not hearken, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, then will I send the curse upon you, and will curse your blessings. Yes, I curse them, because you do not lay it to heart. If you will not listen, see, if you will not hearken, if you will not listen, if you will not lay it to heart, put it in your understandings and lay it to heart and learn your lesson, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, to give glory unto my name. Because God, see, God is the one. God does all things. God separates with the law all things. See, God does rightfully divide. God is the judge. God is the king. God is the glory. Then will I send the curse upon you, and will curse your blessings. Yes, I curse them, because you do not lay it to heart. And this would be the mitzvah right there. See, I will send the curse upon you, this curse that will make an example, see, that you do not give God the glory. You're not giving God the glory who created all things. See, this is the curse that is upon you. I will curse your blessings. See, these things which you do, these blessings you think you have and that you pour out, God curses. Yes, I curse them, because you do not lay it to heart. Yes, I curse them. You was already cursed, see, because you do not lay it to heart. God trying to show you, see, God was already punishing you. You was already in your sin. And God said, turn. Behold, 3, behold, I will rebuke the seed for your hurt, and will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your sacrifices, and you shall be taken away unto it. Behold, watch and see. I will rebuke the seed for your hurt, and will spread dung upon your faces. And we'll find this seed, this that they was trying to protect, even their way. See, what they had. These were those that was trying to protect the crown, and these were those who was trying to save all that house, and was not giving God the glory. See, this is what was going on then, and this is what's going on today. And I will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your sacrifices, and you shall be taken away unto it. And this dung, we'll find out, this dung is the literal dung, because it's that which returneth to the earth. See, it is that which cometh out of the drought. It is the refuge. It is the waste. See, and this waste and this upon your face, even that ways that are made plain. See, we can all see these things. Even the dung of your sacrifices. And this sacrifices here, these are your gatherings, see, your gatherings for this purpose, and you shall be taken away unto it. This taken away, and even in your gatherings together, see, are you taken away, because, see, God makes an example. God makes an example of you, because He takes away your understanding, and you have none. 4. Know then that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. Know then that I have sent this commandment, this mitzvah, unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. And this Levi here, because see, God makes separation. These priests, these ones that took care of the outward area, these ones that was prophesying lies and not doing the word of God. See, these are the ones we're talking to, this commandment that went into you. This was because God had made a covenant with Levi, see. God had made a covenant with Levi in the beginning, and we'll find out that covenant was the law. See, that was the covenant that was made with Levi even in the beginning. 5, and my covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him, and of fear, and he feared me and was afraid of my name. And my covenant was with him, my agreement was with Levi for life, see, and there's life even in the law because God made it that way. God divides through the law, and it's through the observance of the law, see, that God separates you out. This covenant was made with Levi, and Levi was given the order of the covenant. And we'll find out these were the ones who come in and try and just pushed out of the way those who rightfully was there. See, but God was doing this. This was part of God's work. See, God's showing you that God can punish. 6. The law of truth was in his mouth, and unrighteousness was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and uprightness, and did turn many away from iniquity. See, the law of truth was in his mouth, and unrighteousness was not found in his lips. Levi is the one who has the law and has the understanding of the law. It was given to Levi in the beginning, and Levi was responsible, these priests, to take the Zadok, will refer to them, the ones who are righteous, and they were given this order to teach the people, to feed the people, to cause the people to have understanding, see. And he walked with me in peace and uprightness, and he did correctly, see. But God's showing that God makes an example. God sets an example. God shows that he has the ability to judge. He has the ability to do these things. He's God. 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. The priest's lips should keep knowledge. The priest should speak knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that which God gave them in the beginning. That's the law. It's the law. That's all you can teach is the law. And they should seek the law at his mouth. At his mouth should they seek the law, because that's all that they can learn. And the law comes from this volume in the book, the sum, the total of it all, see. And the law is written in the Torah just as plain as day, is if you will read it and understand it, see. There is the first 5 books of this, what is known as the Bible. And this would be what's called the Torah. And see, there would we find all the laws, all the commandments, all the mitzvah that God gives for everyone. See, there's one law of understanding, and it's for everybody. And we'll see that Levi, he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. And Levi is this one who comes through the law, comes through the understanding even of the law. 8. But you are turned aside out of the way. You have caused many to stumble in the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. But you are turned aside out of the way. These priests that went astray, these ones that we spoke of in Ezekiel, these ones that we have spoke of in every book, you have caused many to stumble in the law. See, in the law have you caused them to stumble, because the law is that stumbling block even. This one that they stumble on, they have no understanding. Right off the get-go, we can start with number 1 and number 2 and number 3. See, we can go through the law, and God judges you through the law. 9. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as you have not kept my ways, but you have had respect of persons in the law. Therefore therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people. God did that. Contemptible, you're worthless. And base, brought down to the bottom, see, to be walked on before all the people. Because, see, God makes an example. God sets judgment in the earth. God makes an example. There is no understanding. See, you have no understanding. You did not keep the law of God. That's what it's saying. And you are a respecter of persons. And this respecter of persons is one that will bend the law for your money, see? And that's what it basically means. He bends the law for your money. He will deal out to you whatever understanding you can afford, see? But to those who don't have no money, to those that ain't got a lot of wealth, there's just not a lot he can do for them because he has no understanding. These that sell knowledge, these that have to buy knowledge. God's knowledge ain't for sale. God's knowledge ain't for to be bought and sold. It's to be given away, poured out freely, see. That is that precious vial. See, God said, pour it out. 10. Have we not all one Father? Have not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother, profaning the covenant of our fathers? Have not we all one Father? Have not we all one God? Have we not one God created us? All of us, even in our understandings has he created every one. Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother, profaning the covenant of our fathers, profaning this agreement that our fathers long ago made, see, that there could be a agreement, a peace in the earth? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother? Well, it is the Lord that does make the seas to roar. And he does it, see, and he does make these seas to roar. I say this because it's God who makes the understandings against each other. It's God that pits man against man in his ignorance. See, God trying to show you he can do these things. And nobody considers, and nobody has any respect for God or his understanding or the law that he gives for your own good. See, that if you would obey the law, there would not be every man against his brother. 11. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loves, and hath married the daughter of a strange god. Judah, these ones are praising, hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel. Israel, and that we'll remember this example God made of Israel, those that contended with him, those that he scattered into all the nations of the earth, and in Jerusalem, in that place of peaceful teachings, in that place of the teachings of peace. See, that's Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loves. This holiness of the Lord, this hallowedness of the Lord, we'll find out it's set aside for God. It's God's. Nobody can touch that. See, that's hallowed. You can't give any portion to anything else. That's what we're talking about. And he hath married the daughter of a strange god. And this strange god, this is a god of no understanding. It's what I call a Gnostic god. See, it's one of the mighty ones that God gives to all the other nations to worship. But unto you, he said, you shall not do this thing, any image. This daughter is a feminine, and it refers to this understanding even of this strange god, or these priests of this strange god, because that's what was going on. And these priests had come in and had infiltrated the house of God, and they had set images up and idols up in the house of God. It's documented. And even in the book of Kings, we find it documented. See, and they served all these Gnostic gods and called on the name of the Lord. And that's what they was doing. 12. May the Lord cut off the man that does this, him that calleth, and him that answereth out of the tents of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts. May the Lord cut off the man that does this. The man that goes into these understandings of all these other Gnostic gods. Him that calls and him that answers out of the tents of Jacob. Out of all the tents and these little abodes, this is you. This represents you. See, these houses of Jacob, these tents of Jacob, all the nations of Jacob. There was 12 tribes and Levi. See, that's who this similitude is about. These are the ones who God has set in judgment, each one according to their portion that they was given. 13. And this further you do. You cover the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, with sighing, insomuch that he regards not the offering any more, neither receives it with good will at your hand. And this further you do. You cover the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with sighing, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering any more. See, this covering with tears, this crying all the day, boo-hoo. See, this boo-hoo, weeping and crying on the altar, wanting to, and we remember what they were doing. See, they wasn't making atonement for the people. They wasn't trying to help the people. They was leading the people off in sin. Leading the people off in lie. These were the priests that went astray. These were all the ones that had come in and didn't even have any understanding of God. They're not the Zadok. They're not the sons of Levi. 15. And this is why God doesn't receive nothing at their hand. They have no understanding. They have got no business in the house of God. They got no business in the kingdom of God. They have no understanding. Nobody ever give them any authority to handle the law of God. 14. Yet you say, why? Because the Lord hath been witness between you and the wife of your youth, against whom you have dealt treacherously, though she is your companion and the wife of your covenant. Yet you say, why? Because the Lord has been a witness between you and the wife of your youth. This wife of your youth, this wife of the youth is the covenant, see, that God gave in the beginning. It's your understanding of the law of God that God gave you in the beginning. This would be the wife of your youth, against whom you have dealt treacherously, though she is your companion and the wife of your covenant. The wife of your covenant. This covenant represents an agreement between a man and his wife. A covenant, see, that goes just like if one is married. This is the covenant, even that's made with God. See, we all have this covenant. See, God give all humanity, even in the beginning. See, and it's like your wife. If you betray this agreement, if you go against this agreement, see, it's just like betraying your wife. See, and that's what God says. I have been a witness between you and the wife of your youth. I've been a witness between you and this understanding I gave you. And you have dealt treacherously. See, you have dealt treacherously. Though she is your companion, though she is the one who stays beside you and sticks beside you constantly. See, this is that similitude God's using as this wife, this just like your agreement with the law of God that he give you, even in the beginning. 15, and not one hath done so who had the exuberance of spirit. For what seeketh the one? A seed given of God. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. Don't deal treacherously against this wife of your youth, even this understanding God give, even in the beginning. We're talking to these ones and you know, the example is set in the earth. It's easy to see if one would just look. There is falseness in the earth. There is evil in the earth. And God's made an example of these. See, they don't have no understanding. They don't teach you the law. They don't give you nothing to turn you from your wicked ways. See, God did this. And this is what we're talking about here. But this one who had the exuberance of spirit, this residue, you see, this little bit that was left over, because he seeks this seed given of God, this understanding that comes from God, this law that comes down from God, see, that God gives you. God give you this. Therefore take heed to your spirit and listen. Take heed to your understanding. Listen to your understanding. And let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. This wife of his youth, this one God give you, even in the beginning, see, this was your wife. This was your understanding. This was the marriage. This covenant that you made with God. 16. For I hate putting away, saith the Lord, the God of Israel, and him that covers his garment with violence, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that you deal not treacherously. I hate the putting away, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, and him that covers his garment with violence. Him, and this garment, this is that covers. This is the outer covering, or that which hides the flesh, that which is underneath, with violence. Because it is violence and wickedness that they do when they are respecters of people and selling understanding and knowledge like they've got some. 17. You have wearied the Lord with your words, yet you say, wherein have we wearied him? And that you say, every one that does evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delighteth in them. Or where is the God of justice? Where is this God of judgment? See, they don't have no understanding. They don't even believe in God. These are the ones God said in judgment, and he put this commandment on them, this mitzvah, so he could make an example of them, so we could all witness and see it for ourselves. But fortunately, there's a truth in the book, and it's going to come forth. It's called the law. And it's going to rightfully divide. We don't have to, see. We can just speak what the law is, and then the law does go forth, and it does the work for us. It does all of it for us because God made it that way, see. That's the way God set things. Turn and return. Let's move forward to chapter 3.